How's it going, everyone? This is Hassan Shabazz. This is the Man Means Mind blog. Topic is Man Means Mind. Man as a thinker. Man as a thinking being. There's an old saying that I think is, therefore I am. That whatever I think about forms my reality. My reality is formed by the thoughts that I allow into my mind. So as I think it, therefore I am. So man is a thinker. When we say man, we mean woman also. Man is a thinker. Man is a mind. We are mind. We are an abstract body. We are a mind moving in a concrete body. Our physical body is concrete. Our true essence is abstract, unseen. So we are thinkers. Therefore, we have to approach life as thinkers. We need to think as we move through the earth. I think is, therefore I am. Napoleon Hill wrote a book entitled Think and Grow Rich. So the object of the desire for every sane person should be to become rich, to be prosperous, to be successful, to be wealthy, to be healthy. No sane person should want to be unhealthy. No sane person should want to be poor. No sane person should want to be without if he or she can have. Because in order to be successful as you maneuver through life, you have to have something to give to help other people. And you can't do that if you're poor. So you should always strive to be successful, physically, mentally, spiritually, and physically or financially. So man is a thinker. Man is an abstract entity. Man is not a physical entity. The abstract is supposed to control the physical. As we study God's creation, we can see that the universe operates on the law of profusion. The Creator, divine mind, divine intelligence, whatever concept you want to express the divine Creator as, doesn't just provide enough of the bare necessities. He provides an unlimited supply, a never-ending supply of abundance, whether it be material abundance or spiritual abundance. The human being lacks nothing, as it says in Psalm 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. I shall not want. God has thought of everything, nothing has been overlooked. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible. And the invisible supply really is inexhaustible. And that's from a quote by Wallace from the book, The Science of Getting Rich, on page 12 of that book by Wallace. Now, in fact, I'm going to read a larger quote on that same page. No one is kept in poverty by a shortness in the supply of riches. There is more than enough for all. A palace as large as the Capitol in Washington, D.C. might be built for every family on earth from the building material in the United States alone. And under intensive cultivation, this country, America, will produce wool, cotton, linen, and silk enough to clothe each person in the world, finer than Solomon was arrayed in all his glory, together with food enough to feed them all luxuriously. So, I repeat again, the invisible, that what you can see, that supply is practically inexhaustible. And the invisible supply really is inexhaustible. Everything you see on earth is made from one original substance, out of which all things proceed. New forms are constantly being made, and older ones are dissolving, but all are shapes assumed by one thing. There is no limit to the supply of formless stuff or the original substance of the divine substance. The universe is made out of it. The universe is made out of matter, the thinking stuff. But it was not all used in making the universe. The spaces in through and between the forms of the visible universe are permeated and filled with the original substance, with the formless stuff, with the raw material of all things. There are 5 basic laws from the law of perfusion that we want to look at. The law of perfusion is the big law, the major law. And under the law of perfusion, there's the law of attraction, there's the law of ever-increasing prosperity, which we're going to look at. And this law of ever-increasing prosperity is give and you shall receive. In order to receive, you have to give. You have to empty out in order to fill up. Then there's the law of the increase of life. Always strive to give back more value than you receive. Then the law of attraction, which is one of the senior laws under the law of profusion. I am what I think about all the time. As a man thinketh, so is he. I think it, therefore I am. So what your mind attracts, what you think about and what you don't think about. So you have to learn to train your thoughts to that what you want and remove those things that you don't want from your mind, from your subconscious. When you pray for those things but that you want, but pray in a way that you are allowing the Creator to give you what's best for you. Not because what you want may not be best for you. Ask for the divine selection. Ask God to give you that which is yours. Every person has a share of the divine substance that's in the universe. So ask for your share. Don't covet someone else's share. Don't covet someone else's companion. Don't covet someone else's job. Don't covet someone else's blessings. Only strive for that which is yours. Ask God to give you your blessings, your companion, your success. Ask God to show you your destiny and help you to follow your path, not someone else's path. Because there's more than enough to go around. We don't have to be jealous of others. There's more than enough to go around. There's no shortage of wealth. Now, number 4, the law of compensation. According to Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the great philosophers of success, also an author of many books, he said, the amount of money I earn will always be in exact ratio to 3 things. Number 1, the need for what I do, my ability to do it, and the difficulty there will be in replacing me. Number 5, the law of perpetual increase. We want to look at a scriptural quote from Matthew chapter 13, verse 12, where it says, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. What is that saying? If you think as an abundant person, whether you have anything at the moment, you will become rich. It's impossible to not be rich and wealthy with a mind that's rich and wealthy, with a spirit that's rich and wealthy. But you can have all kind of money, but if your mind is not abundant, if you don't have an abundant mind, you will lose all of that. That's why there are many people who are born into wealth, and then 2 or 3 generations later, they're in the poorhouse. because they did not develop a money consciousness or wealth consciousness, an abundance consciousness. The one who acquired the wealth, built the empire, had that consciousness. Left it to someone, or they leave it to someone who don't have the consciousness, and they lose the empire. So every one of us has to have an empire. We're building an empire. We're empire builders. So you want your empire to last after you pass. So not only do you want to pass on your empire, pass on that mindset of wealth consciousness. Building wealth in your first starts with your thinking. I thinketh, therefore I am. So the law of ever increasing prosperity, give and you shall receive. The law of increase of life, always strive to give back more value than you receive. The law of attraction, I am what I think about all of the time. And also then that you are the sum total of the 5 people you hang around the most. Next, the law of compensation. The amount of money I earn will always be in exact ratio to the need for what I do, my ability to do it, and the difficulty that will be in replacing me. And number 5, last but not least, the law of perpetual increase. As it says in Matthew chapter 13:12, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. So, abundance, you only keep what you have by your thinking. It all goes back to that law, the law of attraction. You attract what you put out. The mind is like a radio station. It receives signals and it sends out signals. Well, everyone is vibrating at a frequency. So in order to get what you want, you have to vibrate on the frequency of that what you want. If you want wealth, you have to vibrate on the frequency of wealth. You can't think about poverty if you want wealth. You have to think about wealth. You have to think about improving yourself, making yourself better daily. Every day should be a day of self-improvement. Next, man means mind. That's a saying that's been around for ages, and that's the key to the wealth of almost everyone. Everyone who is wealthy at one point saw themselves in their mind's eye as being wealthy. You have to see yourself wealthy in your imagination before you become wealthy in the real world. You have to see yourself wealthy in your fantasy before you can become wealthy in your reality. Because you can only be what you can see. The mind, according to Frederick J. Eikenkorter, Reverend Ike, he states that the mind is the esoteric visual faculty of God and man. God creates through the imagination of man. To put it another way, man through his mental faculties is able to focus and create constructs in his mind that later manifest in the real time. Earl Nightingale, one of the leading self-development gurus of our time, states, whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourished with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. And going back to Wallace in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, on page 14, he states, no thought or form can be impressed upon the original substance without causing the creation of the form. Man is the thinking center and can originate thought. All the forms that man fashions with his hands must first exist in his thought. He cannot shape a thing until he has thought that thing first. Man means mind. I thinketh, therefore I am. In closing, we want to read a quote from renowned author John C. Maxwell. He states, your life today is a result of your thinking yesterday. Your life tomorrow will be determined by what you think today. Good thinking will allow me to generate wealth, solve problems, and create opportunities. More gold has been mined from the thoughts of man than has ever been taken from the earth. That's a quote by Napoleon Hill. With that, we want to close. Hope that you got value from this message. Hope that you will continue to expand your thinking. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Seek knowledge that will help you to develop, grow. Life is about growth. Don't be the same person today as you were yesterday. You should not be the same person you were yesterday today. You should be more aware, more alert, and you should be on your way to wealth. You may not be there yet, but you're on your way to wealth, and you start being on your way to wealth by thinking wealthy. And when I say wealth, I'm not talking about just physical money. I'm talking about health. I'm talking about love, happiness. I'm talking about all the good things that life is supposed to be about. Luxury, money, good homes, friendships, and all walks of life. A great wise man once said, that's what life is supposed to be about. So subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that like button, make a comment, share the video. Check us out on our podcast and on our YouTube channel, Man Means Mind. Podcast is also named Man Means Mind. See you in the next video or the next podcast. Peace.